Okay, with some specificity, you're going like, oh, like they're in this chair for a reason, right? And the depth to which you choose to explore that particular vector is up to you. But I hope that as you explore your own vectors as people, you'll go, I want to be in that chair in my own way, in the way that I express myself around whatever facet of the craft that I participate in. And whether that be technical or artistic or business, you know, that's your tomato or your evolution, right? Hopefully you'll see also that people, as you embark on this career, there's a lot of like find a job, right? But what I hope is that you're going to find a career. And I hope you're recognizing that careers evolve and that the people here, like Ed Boon, right, came in as a CS guy, right? He was the coder on the team. But now he's the director of a franchise that has movies and like, right? He's evolved as a person, as you will too, right? Yeah. And PlayStation 4 and free games. Hopefully it's a takeaway that you're like, like a different kind of experience. Like hopefully not like a rote learning experience. Like hopefully like in playing games, you are thinking of interactivity and the time you spend as relevant, and that this medium matters in the same way that film matters to people, right?
The thing you're going to find is that most of business, whether it's video games or almost any other industry, revolves around relationships. And your ability to establish relationships and establish connections with people will benefit you greatly. If I have to talk to an engineer, that is essentially a different language than an artist. I mean, and you can look around. I mean, it doesn't even have to be gaming related. You know, go to the engineering school, talk to them, and then try to convey a concept to the art students. You know, they talk in a different way. So we're talking about different things, and if you start to learn about how they speak, you can start to translate those things.
And those guys have such a big impact on the game nowadays. We know it's a throwing game, but the guys who can go up and get it, the guys who can break tackles after the catch and make bigger plays, oh yeah, they love spotlight as well.
He kicks it off, and here we go from Los Angeles.
You know, what do you think are effective ways in order to coach and mentor other people on your team?
Okay, first thing I would say is establish a connection, a sense of rapport. You spend a little time with them. I mean, the easiest way to say that is sort of focus on empathy, just to understand them. Look for what their goal is or what they're trying to achieve. Okay, because that may be different than what you think. I mean, the biggest part of a team is that you sort of say, okay, you just kind of assume you all have the same goal. That is not always the case. And it's a little bit of understanding, so sometimes people will have, you know, they should all have the same goal, but they may not.
And I think that'll change even more, like as environments become less just agrotoxic towards each other, yeah. I think more people will play more games. It's just like, you know, like diversity will rise as people feel more welcome, right? Like all or nothing. And so there's a game called NHL Hockey, and I looked in the credits, and I called every single person, dial by name, at their desk. Scott Orr, Keith Orr, great. I got it. I remember like today because it had to work, right? And so I called them all. They, you know, hey, I'm Gordon. Click. Hey, I'm really good. You're get click. Hey, you know, I have an idea for a feature. Click. All of the things, right? And I got down to special thanks, which was special thanks. So I was running on fumes, right? And there was a name Jim Simmons. And I called Jim Simmons, and Jim picked up the phone, and I'm like, hey, it's Gordon. And he's like, well, remember, I've called like 30 people, so I have a rapport with the thing, right? So we had a conversation, and he said, like, long story short, he was like, if you can get out here to take the entry-level tester test, right, I can get an appointment for you. Like, no promises, but I can get you an appointment. And so that was that. And so I saved up, came out here to California with my backpack. That's it, right? Yeah. Like the cash was on the ticket. It was gone. So it was just backpack, no food budget, none of those cute things, just that life. And anyway, I passed the test, and then so I got an internship opportunity, but because you're asking how I got the job. So instead of just waiting for the summer, I was like, oh, you've hired me as a summer intern. I must run the Madden project.
So there's a guy by the name of John Shepard.
Oh, sure.
Who
Who's huge.
started Tiburon, started all these things, and he's
ran Zynga for a bit.
Yeah, he was like head of Zynga, and like the thing that people don't know is like I knew him. How did I know him? Because I was sitting in the basement of EA, like going through plays with him for nights after night after night, and it was like just him. And like just me and him just like breaking the game, and then he'd be like swearing up a storm, and we're like, God damn it, what did you do? And, he'd be like half yelling at me, and then he'd be like, all right, that was really good, I will buy you dinner. I was like this is, but it was more a factor of like, there was just no one to kind of stop us, and we were just like, let's do that. But also understand, like, try to be learning things that are not going to be out of date.
Yeah.
And that, I mean, is like you can spend a lot of time like specifically learning Unity, and you can be really great at Unity, but like if you don't sort of evolve at all with it, or say how can I use this in a different way, how can I figure out different process, that where is it going to be? Will Unity be around in a few years? Well, honestly, it'll morph into something a little different, and you should be prepared for that.